and local talk. From the mind behind the Overton Report, it's time for Palmetto Talk Live with your host, Corey Allen. Now, your host, Corey Allen.
All right, guys, that's me. And like I said, we have Congressman Russell Fry on the phone. How's it going, Congressman?
I'm doing good. You know, it's been a 3-week sprint, and but I tell you that for the first time in a couple of weeks, I was able to hang out at home and sleep in my own bed. You know, my family's been on the trail with me too a little bit, but it's kind of good to see your dog, right? Sleep in your own bed. But tomorrow's a big day.
It is. It's a really big day. I haven't really heard anything about the early voting exit polls or anything. I really haven't looked. I'm kind of afraid to. Everything. It just seems to me that polls are all over the place and kind of crazy. So I never know what to trust.
And sometimes polls are politically driven too, right?
Absolutely.
So we've seen a lot of that.
So you just won the primary for Congress unopposed, right? Mm-hmm. And then this, obviously Lindsey Graham tragically passes very unexpectedly. And you decided to jump into this race. What made you decide to run for Senate?
Well, I think about the moment, and really the same thing that led me to run for Congress the first time is this country has survived 250 years, right? We've gone through depressions and recessions. We've gone through a lot. We get punched, we get knocked down, we keep getting up. And Corey, what I'm very fearful of, and I think that I had a Gen Z voter, and I had this great conversation last week, and I said, what's the challenge of our time? I said, the challenge of your time is to confront this idea within your generation that socialism is an acceptable model of governance, that we should aspire to that. I said, polling indicates that it's not, it's that your generation has to kind of figure that out. We need to confront it. You need to confront it in the halls of Congress. You need to confront it in the state house and in your local governments. But you need a messenger, right? You need somebody who's battle tested and can fight and can help. And I think people at their core, our state, they want somebody in the fight, but they also want somebody who can deliver results. And I'm sure you hear this within your friends and the people who listen and pay attention to the show. Is why can't conservatives stick together? Why do we have people kind of off and doing their own thing? Democrats stick together, right? Why can't Republicans do that too? And at my core, that's who I am. I want to focus on the economic outlook of our citizens. I want to focus on the national debt. I want to focus on election integrity, the things that make us conservatives. But it's not enough to go up there and cast a conservative vote. You need conservative results.
Well, it's there are a couple of interesting things here too, because you are the youngest person running. You're a millennial, right? And
yep.
There's a big, and so am I. There's a big. I guess there are not a lot of people of our generation who have really taken the helm when it comes to leadership in this country. It almost seems to have completely bypassed Gen X and basically baby boomers have been running the country for 50 years almost, So that I think is a very big, very big juxtaposition between you and your opponents in this primary. Do you think that gives you a different perspective on the needs of the country, or maybe the solutions?
Yeah. Look, I think a couple things can be true, right? At the same time, is that for older Americans that I serve currently or that are in the state, of recognition, because I didn't grow up with much, so I know what that pinch feels like. But people who are on fixed income, it's like we can honor that, we can fix that, we can create an economic environment that sustains that, right? That's where seniors feel the pinch. Sure. But also somebody who understands what our generation is also going through, and raising a family, getting married, trying to purchase your first home and achieve that little slice of the American dream. And and for Gen Z, it's like, what's going to happen in the future? Technological advances are happening so rapidly. So I think again, tapping into the broader conservative ethos. and a new generation of conservative leadership, people are kind of hungry for that. They want a little bit of fight and energy. They want a little bit of tenacity, and not somebody who's just sticking to talking points, but I dig into the policy. That's what I really try to make sure that we get it right. And I don't sit around and wait. Well, maybe tomorrow I'll become a committee chair. You know, my mantra has always been be impactful today. And if you do that, and people see that you're in the fight, they're gonna say he's doing his job, and we're gonna reelect him or elect him. And that's kind of my who I am as a person.
Well, speaking of that, I mean, what are some of the things that you, in Congress, in your time in Congress, what are some of the things that you've, taken that avenue on? What are some of the things that you're proud of accomplishing there?
Man, so my first bill, it was actually a bipartisan bill, but it was pretty easy. But my first bill was on government transparency at its core. It was on grants, that if you or Charleston or the state of South Carolina applied for a grant, they didn't get it. Like, what were the reasons why? People kind of need to know that if they're missing something, and government have no obligation to convey that. And so people are frustrated that they're trying to figure out how to work things. So at its core is a transparency thing. But this year we actually had a human trafficking bill pass, and this hit me in the heart a little bit because of the stories behind it. But essentially, if you are a victim of human trafficking, you are sometimes caught up in the law, right? You're charged with prostitution or identity theft, and you are charged and convicted sometimes because of you being a victim, like being a survivor. And survivors sometimes they're not comfortable telling the truth. They're not going to rat out sometimes the person that's trafficking them. As odd as that sounds,
well, and they also get taught
it happens a lot.
They get taught that it's not safe to necessarily go to the police because they're going to get arrested themselves. You know, it's that kind of recurring cycle. Like, yeah, absolutely. So
we create this mechanism in the law to dismiss charges or for prior convictions to reopen a case and what they call vacate the conviction. So survivor organizations love this, but law enforcement loves it too. And because it gives them, now that they know the stories and that they know the truth, that they can go after the bad actors. So this was a great bill. It was bipartisan, but it was a great bill because at each different leg of the bill, it could have gone sideways. It seems like a common sense concept, and it is, except there's all types of traps that are along the way on any legislative journey that you have a bill go through. And sometimes you needed to go kick over an anthill. Sometimes you needed to, ask somebody on the Senate side to help you with something. But this was a big win, and President Trump signed it, I think, back in March. But we've got a couple bills on illegal immigration, putting more guardrails on the people who are coming in this country. These bills have passed the House and are now sitting in the Senate. That's a bill that I authored called the Kayla Hamilton Act, which is after, unfortunately, a young lady who passed away in Maryland at the hands of an quote-unquote unaccompanied alien child. He was 16. He came into this country. He was a member of MS-13. He had gang tattoos. Nobody screened him for any of that. They released him into the streets of the United States, and he killed this poor girl. So I think about criminal justice stuff and how that looks and how we fix our broken immigration system and close some of these loopholes. Election integrity, of course. I was doing that since before 2020. In the State House before it was cool. I think the Save America Act is the most common sense thing that you can do. So we're going to.
What do you think some of the reasons are on the Save America Act that it has stalled in the Senate?
Well, I think structurally the rules are broken, right? I think the filibuster is used. Actually, it's not used at all, and that's part of the problem is that no one actually debates anything. I mean, Corey, you and your listeners, we like debate. We want to see it. Like, we like a little bit of action. And sometimes we're informed through that debate. This is good for our citizens. This is good for members. All they do now is just like walk up to a podium at a press conference and go filibuster, and they walk away. No. Put the onus on them. You got to change the rules of the filibuster, blow it up entirely. But put the onus back on the minority. If you're going to filibuster, well, actually do it. Let's bring in the cots, bring in the pillows like Mr. Smith goes to Washington, and you go debate for as long as you want to. But at the end of the day, you're not going to hold the American people hostage for something that is so insanely bipartisan like the Save America Act.
Yeah, it's so with that it's kind of in the same vein. What do you do with all of the, I don't know, 20, 25 million just illegal immigrants that came in during Biden's tenure, just in his 4 years? What do you do with those people who are already here? Because I feel
Great
like
question.
I feel like we haven't done the mass deportation to the extent that many people hoped we would. Right.
Well, and there's, I guess, several reasons for that. But look, the impact of this mass immigration problem that we had that Biden caused is that people's rents are higher, right? We talk about an affordability crisis. People's services, if they want to get health care in a rural hospital. I mean, I've visited these rural hospitals. Good luck. Good luck. That's the underlying problem. So you gotta accelerate the deportations. Funding has been, we all remember the Homeland Security funding battle, right? And there are, I voted for that. It was important to show up and vote for that. Some people didn't, and obviously that's their decision. But you got to get the money right. That's right. You got to get the execution correct. But the other side that not a lot of people are talking about right now is close the loopholes. Biden blew open the door, exploited, I would say, loopholes within our law. You got to remove the discretionary power that he exercised to be able to import millions of people. Look, Corey, we flew migrants from Venezuela and Ecuador and Haiti and all these countries. We flew them into this country, and not just like a couple, hundreds of thousands of people every single month at your expense. We put them on an American Airlines or a Delta or whatever commercial jet that they could get a hold of, and we flew them into this country.
It's interesting though, because that's the same. That's those loopholes are, but it's hard because those are the same. That same discretion was the discretion that Donald Trump was able to use to completely shut down the border as well, right? So it's kind of a double edge.
But I'll give you one example. So parole, the legal term parole, in the immigration sense, says that on a case-by-case basis, the secretary may admit an alien, right? And so what the intent of that was, whenever they crafted it, was that sometimes somebody doesn't fit neatly and tightly into a little box from a legal perspective. And so it gave the agency some discretion on a case-by-case basis. What Biden did was he blew open parole and he said, this month, 200,000 Haitians will come in. This month, 30,000 people from El Salvador can come in. They took the case-by-case basis and really blew it up. So when I talk about the loopholes, that's one of the easiest ones that you could clear up. You got to close that and remove all doubt that they can't do it.
So destructive. It's just so destructive. I think that's a really good idea. And I guess Senate would be the place where anything like that would stall. So let me ask you this. Your first term in Senate, what if you get two things done? What are those two things? Top priorities.
One, you close the loopholes on the border. I think that's got to be key, right?
Okay.
Some of the immigration bills that I'm working on, but even some of these broader things like parole that I just talked about. I think you got to tackle that because we don't know what a future administration may do. And while we have the White House now, and that's awesome, we don't know what's next or 20 years down the road. So close that stuff off. But the second thing is an economic agenda that I think really works for people, particularly a focus on energy. We don't generate enough energy in this country. What does that do to costs? It jacks them up. Nobody likes paying a power bill. But if you want to fuel the middle class, if you want to fuel production in our manufacturing facilities and help farmers, it all starts with certainly a tax climate, but an energy opportunity to generate more. We got to get more stuff up like this on the grid. The West is incredibly successful because for a lot of reasons, but one of the main things is that they expanded energy in such a rapid capacity. It allowed the middle class to grow and thrive. You look at how energy really catapulted people who were didn't come from much into the middle class, into successful jobs. it really kind of, as its foundation is energy. I think that solves a lot of it. So we're going to continue to do that and push not just energy, but an economic agenda, I think, that works. It's too expensive to have kids.
Yeah.
Make our tax policy a little bit more reflective of, the need to have kids, the importance of that. But you got to make it family friendly, right? You got to make it, it's diapers cost a lot, right? Formula costs a lot. And so, if people want to start a family, make it a little bit easier to do that. Make energy more affordable. So economics is all, just how I grew up, Corey. It all, if you felt the pinch ever in your life before, you know what that feels like, then your government should be responsive and reflective of what that feels like.
So the last question I have for you is why do you, just to tell people, like, why do you think you're the best person to take on Annie Andrews?
Look, she's raised a lot of money. Their Democrats are looking to expand the map. They're looking at opportunities. And what I think people need, and what I think we have to realize is that, yes, this is a red state, but it's not stopping people from targeting other red states. You need somebody who can raise the capital, who can attract the broadest base of the conservative movement, who's got the energy to match hers, who can fundraise to match hers, who can be on the ground. I'm a grassroots guy. I've always been, but who can push to make sure that we do not reverse course and elect a Democrat for the first time in 30 years. You got to be in the fight. You got to be able to attract and pull a team together. Heck, I've been counted out forever. Ever since I ran for the state house. It's not your turn. You're too young. Don't do it. I kind of like being the underdog. But here, sure. Look, the metrics of the state are great, but you have to be able to deliver a message, and you got to have the record to back it up. It's not enough to talk about it anymore. People are done with electing those who go to the state house or Congress or wherever and become part of the furniture. They want somebody in the fight. They want somebody who's fighting for their interests every single day, and who can actually produce results. We've done that, and we're gonna do that as the next U.S. senator for this incredible state that we live in.
Well, I appreciate you coming on. Tell people where to go to learn more about you. And
look, I appreciate that, Corey. Appreciate the time too, and your listeners for being engaged. But RussellFrySC.com is the website, and we're on Instagram, X, Facebook, you name it, we're there. Follow us and be part of this incredible campaign.
All right, thanks again, Russell, for coming on. All right, guys, that was Russell Fry, Congressman and hopeful for the U.S. Senate. When we get back, we're going to talk with Tyler, do a little bit of post game on that, and we're going to talk about some other things that are going on, and then other candidates in the Senate race and flock cameras, the whole works. We'll be back in 2 minutes. If you're planning a date night, don't settle for ordinary. Take it to another level at the Melting Pot. This is where dinner becomes interactive, where you dip into rich cheese fondues, cook your own steak and seafood right at the table, and finish with warm chocolate fondue and sweet dippers. Their signature 4-course experience takes you from savory to sweet in one unforgettable night. Perfect for couples, celebrations, or just reconnecting with old friends. The Melting Pot. Set the mood, slow things down, enjoy the moment. Find the Melting Pot at 1410 Colonial Life Boulevard West in Columbia and make your next night out one worth remembering. The Cigar Militia is the place to be. Owned by South Carolina State Representative Jay Kilmartin, this isn't just a business, it's a passion. And you can feel that the second you walk through the door. Top-tier cigars, a welcoming atmosphere, even private lockers so your collection stays exactly how you like it. They even host regular gatherings that bring people together beyond just cigars. If you're looking for a place that values quality, conversation, and community, this is it. Look no further. The Cigar Militia in Columbia, SC. Light up something better.
Looking for a realtor who gets it done and actually answers her phone? Meet Christy Gore with Realty One Group Coastal. Christy is a Tri-County top producer. She works hard, keeps you informed, and knows the Charleston Tri-County markets inside and out. From Dorchester to Berkeley and everywhere in between, she's helping you buy and sell residential homes with confidence. When other agents let calls go to voicemail, Christy's picking up and already finding your next home. So don't wait. Call 843-998-8250 or go online to christyscoastalhomes.com, where local experience meets real results.
Adam Curran here with Curran Financial Partners. We are proud to sponsor Corey Allen and Palmetto Talk Live. I'm a God-fearing, flag-waving conservative financial advisor, and my firm does it all, y'all. We can help you with your investments, we can do your taxes for you, and we can put together your estate planning documents for you. Reach out to my office by visiting our website. Go to retirey'all.com. Again, retirey'all.com, and get my book in the mail. We literally wrote the first and only book ever penned specifically about retiring in the great state of South Carolina. Retire Y'all, your guide to retiring in the state of South Carolina. Go to retirey'all.com to get a free copy of my book and come kick my company's tires. It might have a profound impact on you and your family's finances.
We are back. We're back. We just had Congressman Russell Fry on the phone, and one of the things that he spoke about was energy, and how important it is to have affordable energy for everybody. And a lot of people are. I didn't talk to him about this, but I know that our next guest, Tyler, has a lot to say about it, and a lot of people do. One of the biggest attacks against Russell Fry, or coming against him, is when he was in the State House and he was voting on. He voted for the incremental gas tax increase, right? Mm-hmm. So, what are people saying, Tyler?
I'm glad I was muted during that interview. The idea that Russell Fry had the audacity to talk about the need for families to be able to afford energy and taxes being transparent after the role he played in our gas tax was just so rich, just like super duper, like want to spit it out of your mouth. Rich. And I just, yeah.
I mean, I guess it was, it was 10 years ago. And they did, the governor vetoed it at the time. And
who led the way to override that veto?
So he did help. I don't know about leading the way. See, that's the thing is like the political attack ads. I haven't really looked too deep into that yet.
Russell Fry played a huge role.
Did he?
He played a huge role.
Yeah. So... And and I'll tell you
I don't hate Russell Fry. I don't have it I'm not against him. I'm debating between him and Ralph Norman, but his
as most people are. I think
his debate performance the other night, and then just that right there.
I mean, he was very personable there. I wonder where he was on the debate stage, to be honest with you. And
high as a kite from what it looked like to me.
Come on now. I mean, I'm not he looked tired.
Tired? Them eyes was wide open.
Well, yeah, but in the sense of, I don't know, he looked tired to me.
He looked like a robot to me.
He did. There was a little bit of, he was a little less enthusiastic than many of the other candidates. I guess
I've heard there may be a few different reasons for that, but
yeah,
it wasn't an inspiring performance.
But he was, completely different on the phone than the energy. And I've met him a couple of times in the past, briefly, but I've never had an actual conversation with him. That's the first time. I do like what he has to say on the border. I like what he has to say on energy currently.
But see, that's like Mark Sanford. Mark Sanford the other day was like, "Well, don't look at what I say. Look at what I do." Well, yeah, because you were screwing some chick in the mountains. You don't want us to look at what you do, but I should be able to look at both. I should be able to look at what you say, and that should be reflective of what you do. Mm-hmm. But that just tends not to be the case with our politicians.
It is weird to me that if it feels like people like you and me are held to even a higher standard than elected officials or politicians.
In a lot of ways, I think so.
In a hell of a lot of ways, I think. If we say anything that's incorrect or even if we think it's true in the moment and then we get new information later or whatever.
That's all we hear about for 2 weeks.
At least, if not getting, threats of lawsuits, right? But these guys, it seems like they can kind of just ride the wave of whatever the moment is. And people are just, the attention span of voters is very short.
ADHD goldfish.
Goldfish, I think, is
Goldfish suffering with ADD.
yes. There was a new study that came out that said like the younger kids who are on the tablets all the time, like the 3 and 4 and 5-year-olds that are on tablets and phones all the time, have a shorter
Have you seen
attention
the
span than
experiments that
goldfish.
some parents are doing with the tablet, like taking the tablet away?
Oh, and the kids freak out?
No, just the marked difference in children when they've been removed from a tablet for 2 or 3 weeks.
Oh, yeah.
It's like complete marked difference. So I think there's something to that. I think we should take those things away from kids.
I think they should ban them in schools. I think they should ban. You should have a computer class where you learn typing and you learn maybe basic coding, basic Microsoft, Office. But then the rest of the day,
on an Apple.
These kids have tablets
like an Apple
in
type
school.
product until you're like 14, like high school age. I feel like is maybe old enough to start having a tablet all the time in your hands. But I just don't think it's good. I don't think it's good for kids.
It's certainly not. They're saying that it's really harmed kids, and I think there's an entire nation right now in Europe. I can't remember which one. Probably Sweden, because they're on the top of all this stuff. But it's one of those countries, and they're like, no more.
Yeah.
We're not allowing any more no tablets, none of that. It's all we're writing cursive.
Right. But Russell Fry.
But Russell Fry, it is. Again, I keep going back to the same thing. It's, do we want a long-term senator or do we want a transitional figure? And that's what I keep going back to between Ralph Norman and Russell Fry. Definitely can't do Darlene.
No.
Darlene is 100% out. Mark Sanford impressed me in the debate. And
I like what he had to say, but
the people that like him love him.
Yeah.
Even in the congressional race where he dropped out, he had like 8,500 votes.
The only people I see, like the only surrogates I see for him are women, though. Like the only people that I see online, like, oh, I like him, I support him. There must have been a point in his life where people thought he was attractive, and that must be like carrying over, because I don't see what else it would be. I mean, he talks about the national day. He has good ideas, but it's like he's lacks self-awareness to understand where he stands after what he's done. Like you realize, like, there are people that have come into politics now that I would take, since you did what you did, there are people that have come onto the political scene that I give far more credence than you, just because of what you did. You've lost that. Like, Yeah,
it was a big issue. I mean, that is a big moment of losing trust. It truly was.
It made us look like idiots. It made our state look foolish as hell.
That's true, too. Yeah, it did. Well, the thing is, South Carolina, we are so good at making our state look foolish as hell.
That's true.
Like,
We don't need any help
Darlene
with our elected
Graham.
officials, right?
Well, I'm saying our elected officials.
Right.
It's so, we're in trouble. And Russell said something, he was saying something about Democrats sticking together, and he's not wrong. We have a big problem in the Republican Party with personalities. Mm-hmm. Like we pick a personality and we follow them. The Republican Party and people within it follow them to the gates of hell.
Right. It's interesting to me that the Democratic Party, now they have people that are running for Congress that are like owning the identity of communists and socialists. Like that's, they're okay with it. And the Democratic Party is saying, well, it's okay, we're Big Tent.
We're Big Tent.
What do you think would be the response if some asshole from Arizona decided to run for Congress as a Republican fascist? And that's that's his label.
We're
That's
Big Tent.
feels. We're Big. That would never happen. And the Democrats would go apeshit if it did. And the Republicans would never let it happen to begin with. Like, they'd excise him like a cancer.
Yeah.
But the fact that the Democrats are like, oh, no, we have to embrace this. Like, it's okay. Communism is part of our Big Tent? Really? Okay.
Well, hell, and literal fascism. Graham Plattner, dude. Right. Nazi tattoo. That's about as big as the tent can get, isn't it? Fascist, communist, socialist.
Then they tried to replace him with a man who has anal periods.
Dude, that guy is so crazy. Did you see the picture that put like Graham Plattner's face and his face like halfway?
No.
And they're like, is this his way of trying to stand the race? They do look very similar.
That's funny.
They could be brothers.
I've heard that about Darlene. that Graham's not actually dead. That Lindsay just decided to dress as his sister full time, and
that is crazy.
It's not true, obviously.
Obviously not, but it's funny.
It's funny.
It is funny, but that's the thing about Darlene. It's like, how can people look at a lifelong bureaucrat who, and I think that it's even more telling that people are like, oh, she changed her name from Nordone to Graham to run, but she didn't. That to me is even more telling.
It is.
She was living off of the Graham name.
I got a flyer in my mailbox last week that was Darlene Graham, and on the back is a picture of her posing with her family. I'm like, them ain't Grahams. Them are Nordones. I'm pretty sure those are Nordones. And if I was her husband, I'd be so mad. I think we talked about that last time.
Yeah.
But what's really getting me with the Darlene thing is just this. I can't say all of them, but a lot of them, like just the people that were supporting Lindsey Graham, just like straight up razor bladed their face off and put it on another body to support Darlene.
Yes.
To the point where, like, I've seen people that I like and respect saying, "I've been following Darlene for a whole 2 weeks now. I've been following Darlene since Lindsey Graham died, and she's really delivering for our state." Are you crazy?
I know.
Are you crazy? What has she done? Nothing. They're talking about the bill that just got passed. She literally just stamped her signature on her brother's bill.
Yeah, and even that, the only reason that passed so just without so much pushback or anything was because it was the last thing that Lindsey Graham was working on, and it was to honor him. You know what I mean? Like, so they didn't do the regular rigmarole that they would have if Lindsey Graham were still alive.
Right.
Even that was Lindsey Graham getting that passed. You know what I mean? Even that. It's a very strange situation, and I really it's made me take a step back and be like, man, there is a large portion of South Carolinian Republican voters that
They're lemmings.
Yes,
They're
more
lemmings.
so than I thought,
Mm-hmm.
and it bothers me.
Fortunately, I believe the vast majority of them are in the baby boomer camp. I believe.
Yeah, I think you're right.
I hope.
But we are a very big retirement state.
Mm-hmm.
I think. Okay, how about this? How about predictions? Not who you want. So, do you think there'll be a runoff first?
Yes, of course.
I think there'll be a runoff.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so who do you think?
See, if you had told me 2 weeks before the primary that Graham was going to win it without a runoff, I would have said you're crazy. There's no way.
Then you looked at the candidates.
But then he did, and so if there's a runoff, I'm assuming Darlene is going to be in it. I don't think she would be. Like, doing the math in my head, in my mind, the runoff is between Fry and Norman. But she's a Graham. It's like that magic royal blood is going to somehow
It sure does.
reserve her a spot on that ballot. So I don't know.
That's the thing. I've been seeing.
If it comes to a runoff, it's going to be, my guess, between Norman and Darlene.
I think that's safe. I think that's a pretty good bet. Some internal polling from some of the candidates that I've talked to, some of their people, some of their like really tight-lipped polling shows Darlene not making it to a runoff.
I would love for that to be the case.
I just can't see.
I don't see it happening, though. I just don't see it happening.
I know.
That seems about as likely to me as a Democrat winning governor.
Yeah, it's
Possible, just does not seem likely.
Yeah, it's possible. It just doesn't seem likely. I know that on Cauchy she has dropped. Russell Fry has shot up.
Yeah.
Actually. So I think
He's winning the sign wars, at least around here.
Well, that's true. Well, he won the straw poll in Charleston as well.
Did
he? Yeah. Charleston Republican Party straw poll. He's won a couple. So, if we were doing like who do you want, one of the people that I know the best and see as like a good dude is Duke Buckner. So, like if it's like who's your perfect, he's up there in the top two.
If I could choose and just put somebody in the seat, it would probably be Russell Fry.
Really?
Probably. Just because, like we said, he's a millennial. He has the potential to be there the longest. And the gas tax thing doesn't make me hate him, obviously. I like to see politicians own their shit instead of trying to run away from it.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's just one of those things that he's going to try to, let's just pretend never happened. When you can just like, yeah, I did it. Maybe I shouldn't have done it. Let's move on. But as far as people that I would want in this seat, it would either be him or Norman. Norman, because it would give Fry time to prep to be in the seat in 6 years.
Sure.
And Fry, just because we could just go ahead and get him in there.
Yeah, and I think that different perspective, I don't know that we have anybody on the Republican side that's really in that generation in the Senate. Like, he has lived a life that...
The person I would have really
It's
wanted to
close to
see run
ours.
for this office is no longer in politics, and it breaks my heart.
Who?
Stuart Jones.
Oh, I know.
I would have loved to see him in this
He
race.
should have beat Sherry Biggs. He should be in Congress right now. That was a damn shame. Let's go ahead and go to break, and then when we get back, I want to. You want to do flock cameras, man?
Yeah.
Because that is a crazy thing, and we got to do the tranny teacher. So tranny teacher in DD4 went national. Lives a TikTok, picked it up yesterday. Fun stuff. All right, we'll be back in 2 minutes. If you're planning a date night, don't settle for ordinary. Take it to another level at the melting pot. This is where dinner becomes interactive, where you dip into rich cheese fondues, cook your own steak and seafood right at the table, and finish with warm chocolate fondue and sweet dippers. Their signature 4-course experience takes you from savory to sweet in one unforgettable night. Perfect for couples, celebrations, or just reconnecting with old friends. The Melting Pot. Set the mood, slow things down, enjoy the moment. Find the Melting Pot at 1410 Colonial Life Boulevard West in Columbia and make your next night out one worth remembering. The Cigar Militia is the place to be. Owned by South Carolina State Representative Jay Kilmartin, this isn't just a business, it's a passion. And you can feel that the second you walk through the door. Top-tier cigars, a welcoming atmosphere, even private lockers so your collection stays exactly how you like it. They even host regular gatherings that bring people together beyond just cigars. If you're looking for a place that values quality, conversation, and community, this is it. Look no further. The Cigar Militia in Columbia, SC. Light up something better.
Looking for a realtor who gets it done and actually answers her phone? Meet Christy Gore with Realty One Group Coastal. Christy is a Tri-County top producer. She works hard, keeps you informed, and knows the Charleston Tri-County markets inside and out. From Dorchester to Berkeley and everywhere in between, she's helping you buy and sell residential homes with confidence. When other agents let calls go to voicemail, Christy's picking up and already finding your next home. So don't wait. Call 843-998-8250 or go online to christiescoastalhomes.com, where local experience meets real results.
Adam Curran here with Curran Financial Partners. We are proud to sponsor Corey Allen and Palmetto Talk Live. I'm a God-fearing, flag-waving conservative financial advisor, and my firm does it all, y'all. We can help you with your investments, we could do your taxes for you, and we can put together your estate planning documents for you. Reach out to my office by visiting our website. Go to retirey'all.com. Again, retirey'all.com, and get my book in the mail. We literally wrote the first and only book ever penned specifically about retiring in the great state of South Carolina. Retire Y'all, your guide to retiring in the state of South Carolina. Go to retirey'all.com to get a free copy of my book and come kick my company's tires. It might have a profound impact on you and your family's finances.
Live and local talk from the mind behind the Overton Report. It's time for Palmetto Talk Live with your host, Corey Allen.
All right, guys, we're back. And, of course, I've got Tyler Bessinger in studio with the Carolina Courier. So, earlier today, of course, if you missed it, you can catch it when we're done. I had Congressman Russell Fry on talking about the Senate race. And, you know, we were going to talk about flock cameras, but we were talking about Annie Andrews a little bit. Speaking of Annie Andrews, how about that tranny teacher in Dorchester District 4?
Yeah, I heard about this.
This woman, it's fourth grade, and so this is going national now. A couple days ago on Friday, Thursday or Friday, God, the week, it's just been a crazy couple weeks. I did a show, and I kind of went in on this pretty hard, so I don't want to spend a lot of time on it, but this fourth grade teacher, so we're talking 9-year-olds, she's sitting there, and one of the kids says, "Ma'am." She says, "It is sir." That's screwed up already. So this woman is publicly transitioning to pretend that she's a man, which we know that when a man transitions to be a woman, to pretend to be a woman, it's autogynephilia generally, and it's but when a woman is transitioning to pretend to be a man,
It's a power trip.
Well, it's a different psychological condition, but it is a very manipulative one, and so very very harmful to 9-year-olds in general. But then the parents wanted their kid moved out of the classroom, and the administration was like, "No, we can't do that."
That's crazy.
I don't understand this, and I don't understand why we haven't heard anything from the State Board of Education on this yet.
That was my first question. When I heard about this last week, I'm like, okay, well, that's fine, because we've got Ellen Weaver in charge of education in the state, and crickets.
It's like, how does this even happen?
This shouldn't be happening. I thought that this couldn't happen anymore in South Carolina. That was kind of what we were told, but it seems to be. So I would be raising all kinds of hell if I was the parents.
Apparently, like 19 families went to the board yesterday or a couple days ago, sometime, maybe it was Friday, I don't know. They went to the board and they were complaining about this. We'll see what happens with it, but it has made national news now. And Dorchester District 4, man, that's a district that I don't even know why. Honestly, it's a very small school district. I don't necessarily know why they exist. They're very poor. They need to just be wrapped into DD2, I think.
Yeah.
But and the thing about DD4, it's a very like rural district too. So that's. I would expect this to happen more in like Greenville, city of Greenville.
Well, she's liable to live in the city for all you know. She may live in Charleston.
She very well could, but I don't know, man. It's so weird. And I heard people say, like, this isn't about disrespecting anyone. This isn't about, trying to bully anybody. Except the thing is, you're missing the point. Yes, it is. Like, this is about this teacher disrespecting those children and all of the parents and everybody else, and it's about her bullying them and forcing them to call her something she's not, then bullying the school, saying, if you remove this kid, that's bigotry and I'll sue you and I'll get money, taxpayer money. That's what it's all about. It's all about that. It's just the opposite way. I don't like it. So we're going to follow up on that, and I think you're going to be looking into this more, right? It's going to be fun. That's going to be. I just think this is something we shouldn't let go either.
Right. No, it's. We've been dealing with this for years now, and it makes no. Well, I don't want to say I don't have anything against it, because I think it's ridiculous to be transgender in the first place. But if you want to do that and be crazy and dress in whatever it is y'all do, you want to do that, that's cool. Just understand that excludes you from certain things, and that's fine. There's all kinds of shit that excludes you from all kinds of things. I can't play in the all-black basketball league or the all-black baseball league. I can't be a Girl Scout. I probably could now, but like there's things that I can't. Be Boy Scouts. Right? There's things I can't do because I am the way I am. Yeah. There are things you can't do because you are the way you are. If you choose to be, if like this individual is a woman, you can be that, and you can be a teacher, or you can be whatever you're choosing to do. And go
and not be a teacher.
Be an artist or an actor or a Lowe's, or start with hell. There was a tranny at the drive-thru that gave my Starbucks this morning. Go work at Starbucks.
There you go.
But like, you don't get to influence children. And if you do, if you're gonna be trans and a teacher, which I don't think should be a thing, but you're gonna have to accept that 5-year-olds may not know what the fuck you are.
And the parents are gonna be like, no, I don't want.
Yeah, exactly. I don't want that around my child. Like, go work at a private school that's okay with it.
I know.
I don't know what to tell you. Go start a queer school. Good luck to you.
Ugh. God, go join like We Are Family, that weird Charleston group. So flock cameras, man. Where are you on these, man? Because it's all over the place. You're torn. Tell me
divided.
Why are you torn?
So, part of me is like cheering on the people that go around cutting them down. That's the libertarian in me. Then there's the part of me that's like, maybe they serve a purpose. But when I think of, and we talked about this before, if it was a matter of the big 3 litter companies having access to it, that's one thing. Like if I go missing or whatever, what worries me is that you've got local police and local authorities who have access to it, and we have shown time and time and time again that those people are less trustworthy than the federal government. So I just, it's a no for me. If I have to make a call, I'm going to continue rooting on the people that are cutting them down because I think they need to go. I don't think the benefits outweigh the consequences.
There are a couple of things that really, really scare me about it. One of them is the obvious. It's that stupid mentality of, if you're not doing anything wrong, you don't have anything to worry about.
That's trash.
Anybody,
that was Lindsey Graham's byline.
Well, that's right. If anybody still has that notion after COVID and the vaccine stuff and all of shutting down bank accounts for being in DC on January 6th. Like, if anybody still has this notion that as long as you're doing what you believe is right, then you don't have anything to worry about.
Who decides what's wrong?
Well, that's what I'm saying. And that's always been the argument, but we have literally seen it happen now. And there are still people making that argument. It's like, do you think the next pandemic, when they say stay in your home and you're like, you know what? No, I'm going to do non-essential travel.
Right.
What are they going to do if they have flock cameras? What would they have done if they had
Oh,
them there?
God. If they came to my house and gave me a ticket for being downtown without a mask on, I still have it laminated in my fucking memoirs. So, like, the idea that they could have done the same thing, they could have done it too if you didn't, if you have COVID and say they decide you're not allowed to leave the house if you have COVID, and then they see your car moving around. They could have put you on all kinds of crazy lockdowns.
Exactly. And they could have just chased you down, pulled you over. So that's one thing that really bothers me. The other thing that really bothers me about them is, like you said, local departments, just random people having access to this.
Well, that's when we hear about them the most anyway. It's some local sheriff or local cop has stalked his wife or his girlfriend or just some random person. Like, that's the only time we've really heard of them is very rarely do you hear about, this flock camera helped us locate this serial killer. It's normally, this dude and his wife had a falling out, so the cop was finding out where she was at and then went and beat up their lover. Right. That's what normally happens.
And so that's crazy, and you can't stop that from happening.
No.
If they
have access to the technology, it's going to happen.
Yes. And so that's scary to me. It's also the retaliation. Mm-hmm. And in our position, it's probably more than most. But anybody who gets into some issue with the police department or uncovers fraud or corruption or whatever, then you're targeted, and you can be, and nobody will know until
I don't want Mayor Habib or Chief Hill being tipped off every time I pass through Goose Creek. That's not what I want. It's not good for me.
It's right, and it's not good for anybody. And I mean, at least we have platforms where we can
push back.
But imagine the person who doesn't,
right?
Because there are personal beefs that happen out there with police officers
that we've written about. We've written about the person.
I'm telling you. You know what I mean?
Stalking entire neighborhoods. All they got to do is put a flock camera in the front, and they got you every time.
It's scary. And the last thing about it that's scary is that all of these are owned by a private company.
Right.
And a dude who can't even answer whether or not he thinks humanity should survive. You know what I mean? Like these AI people, they're weird people. So it's all owned by a private company to do whatever they want with it. Like the DNA, the Ancestry.com. And I remember saying, guys, they're going to sell this. This is da-da-da. Lo and behold.
You're going to start getting targeted ads based on where you drive.
That's exactly what's going to happen. Absolutely, because it's all data collection.
Did you know you're driving past this store shop every day? And you never stop there.
And your car is the new cars. I'll never buy a new car. It's like when you take your eyes off the road, it's got a camera on you. Mm-hmm. It says, put your eyes on the road. Eyes alert. Oh yeah. That's creepy stuff. Mm-hmm. That it's really dangerous. I can't believe we have allowed it to go that far as Americans.
Do you remember starting to catch
the West is already lost?
All this started years ago, and I remember having conversations about it. When you'd be in the car with a friend, driving around, having a conversation, and then you pick up your phone and open Facebook, and then what you were talking about happens to be the next ad that comes up. And you were like, there's no way this just happens to be happening. And then we found out, oh, no, they're actually listening to you.
Yes.
Yeah, so this is going to be the same way. We're probably behind the curve on this already.
We are, for sure. But the thing is, having government institutions involved in it, because they're the only ones that have the massive budget and infrastructure to put it out that way.
Right.
Facebook, it's all voluntary. You got to get on. Right. You got to be on Facebook. You got to have the phone. You got to do that. This is everyone, no matter who you are.
Was there some kind of ruling on flat cameras?
I don't know. I don't think
I'd heard that there was some kind of a ruling on them, but maybe not.
I do know. Here's another crazy story that happened while I'm looking that up. There was a city, and they had flock cameras. And then the people were like, we don't want these. And finally the sheriff said, okay, we're shutting them down. They shut them down, but Flock kept them on.
Well, the company kept
them running. And it was like, what? in the world are we going to do? So that freaks me out too. The company doesn't care because the company is bigger than any individual, most individual municipal police or whatever. They're bigger than them.
Certainly richer.
Certainly more wealthy. That's right. And have more power because they can follow them home. Challenge involving recent court rulings and legal challenges involving flock safety, automated license plate reading, camera, focus on constitutional privacy limits, public record laws. Lower federal courts have generally found that using these cameras on public roads does not violate the Fourth Amendment, though broader digital privacy precedents continue to spark heavy legal debate. A federal judge ruled that Norfolk, Virginia's network of 176 flock cameras is constitutional. The court found that discrete photos of vehicles on public roadways do not constitute a warrantless search because they do not constantly track a single individual, though the judge warned that a larger, more comprehensive network could cross a constitutional tipping point. See, that's the thing.
What does that mean?
They're not using these, like,
I see what he's saying. He's like, oh, we're not following you around.
Right.
We're not saying, oh, you're going here, 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 here. We just have the ability to look back and say, oh, you did go here, 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 here.
Yeah.
That's the same thing.
But the computer, the data's in there, so the
Right.
computer is saying you're going here, 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 here. It's very, and they're saying basically like, oh, well, we're only using it for this so far, so
Yeah, until you're not.
This is a dangerous situation right here, man. This is something that could fundamentally, and that's the thing. It only takes it takes less than a generation for people to just get used to it, and
Just
it's
go
just
with it,
part of the normal thing.
We don't look at our phones crazy anymore for prompting our ads.
I know. We're like, we expect it. We're mad when, why am I getting this ad? They know I don't like this. You know what
I was talking about Pepsi. Why am I getting Coke ads?
Exactly. Oh my gosh. Well, anyway, thanks for coming on today, man. We've got, guys, check out the Carolina Courier. And I'll tell you, tomorrow I'm going to tell you a little bit about the Washington Post has called us both over an incident. So we're looking forward to that.
That'll be fun.
It will, but I recorded our conversation, so I don't know.
It'll be my first time being in the WAPO. I've been in the Times.
Yeah. Anyway, thanks guys for joining us. We'll see you tomorrow. My name's Corey Allen. This has been Palmetto Talk Live.